Good morning. I'm a little late again, huh? I was looking for my glasses. I have about 100,000 pair and I never came find them when I went to. Ron says, why don't you leave one in every room? They just go with me and then I take them off. I don't know, I'll just have to go around and start gathering again. So I have the full screen right now because I just realized this morning since I started using this split screen 2 cameras, you can't see my, well, in yoga we call it an altar. I have the candles lit back there. Got a little Buddha with candles and all my peace flags. We need to bring some peace to this old world, huh? So I thought I'd remind you that it's always back there. Now let me add the other camera. There's the other camera. So just know that my little altar's always back there in the background. Today we are going to go through a flow, but the term flow, what does that mean? So energy, prana, flows through us, flows around us, connects us to everything. When it gets blocked, when it gets sluggish, stagnant, then we experience dis-ease, disease, stale, stagnant water from a river that's been blocked is just putrid, and reestablishing that flow quickly brings that life force energy back into that river and back into that stream. And it's the same with us, so we need to maintain the flow in our bodies and also maintain that flow around us, maintain that connection. Part of the way we can do that is with our yoga practice, our breath practice, remembering that prana, that life force energy flows into us on the breath, and then we release that stale stagnation on the exhale. So it's that circle of life. The movement helps to open up the nadis. In yoga, we call those channels nadis. Remember, I've told you before in yoga, they say there's 72,000 nadis in the body. So keeping that flow going. So with that in mind, that's going to be the focus of our practice. We'll just go through a nice fun yoga flow, but bringing awareness to the fact that we're keeping that life force energy flowing through us so we can keep that strong connection to those around us and that strong connection to our earth, our Mother Earth. So meet me on the mat. We're going to start out in a child's pose. Nice wide child's pose. Knees wide. If this doesn't feel well in your body, you can come to happy puppy, knees under hips, and bring the forehead down. If you're in a wide child's pose, bring the heart down towards the earth. Bring the forehead to the mat. I'll keep mine lifted for the sake of the sound. But as the heart reaches down towards the earth, open. Feel that sense of connection to the earth, to the yin energy, that calm, soothing energy of the earth. As you inhale, breathe that energy in. And as you exhale, release the stagnation. Release that to the earth, and the earth will recycle that. Inhale and exhale. Now reach along with the arms if they're not already, and come up onto your fingertips. Now keep your ears in line with your upper arms, and let the heart melt even further with the arms lifted. So you get a little more stretch in the shoulders. Now lift your gaze, look between your hands, walk your hands to the right on the fingertips. Now plant the hands onto the mat, onto the ground. Keeping the hips back and down, push the hands away from you. And then we exhale, you melt a little more. You can deepen this stretch by lifting the left hand and placing it on top of the right, or even crossing that hand over, so you're crossed at the wrist. Then rest your face in your upper arms. Inhale deeply and then exhale, sink into this. Inhale, drawing up that earth energy. And exhale, sinking down into the support of the earth, letting go. 3 more breaths here. Feel the stretch in the physical body on the left side. So in Tai Chi and Qigong, I think the side body is the wood element. And the elements are different between Qigong, Tai Chi, and Yoga, but wood element is the side of the body. Those meridians, we call them in Tai Chi and Qigong. In Yoga, we call them nadis. Now walk the hands over to the left. Same thing here, push the hands away and let that send your hips back and down. The heart melts down. Then maybe you lift the right hand, place it on top of the left. Maybe you take it beyond the left. Rest your face in your arms. Now feel the stretch in the right side body. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Feeling that calm yin energy of the earth. We need to cool this planet down. And then walk the hands forward. And we're going to come up into table. Walk the knees underneath the hips. Let's do a few cat-cow here. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. So if you practice with me, you know cat-cow. It's second nature. So inner cat-cow, see if you can focus on some shoulder circles, which really come along with the movement. Let's see if you can bring your awareness there and optimize those shoulder circles as you round through cat-cow. One more each way. And come back to table. Drop the belly down towards the mat. So we'll come back into cow. Swing your ribs to the left as far as they'll go, and you can even peek over your right shoulder to your right hip. That right hip's reaching up this way. Now round the spine. And when you can't round it anymore, we're going to drop it over to the left. And then look over or drop it to the right. Look over your left shoulder at your left hip, and then the belly goes down towards the earth again. So like a jump rope. Let's move through a couple of these in one direction, and then we'll reverse again. Bring some awareness to what's happening in the shoulders and the hips. Now go the other way if you haven't already changed. And come back to neutral. Let's tuck the toes, curl the tailbone, lift right up into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And walk the dog, pedal the heels up and down, wag the tail, slither around here. And if it feels good, you can swing one leg up, stack the hips, bend the knee, maybe the other leg. We'll take about, let's take 10 breaths here. We're going to take our time in down dog today. Remember, this stretching, this moving, this tuning in to the sensations of the body helps to open up the nadis, open up the energy flow. So give yourself time to explore. About 3 more breaths. And then meet me in down dog with your feet hip distance apart, but bend your knees a lot. Push those hands away from you. And allow that to press the belly and maybe even the low ribs onto the thighs. Shake your head yes here. Let's release the tension in the neck, release the cervical spine. Shake your head no. And let your head hang. See if you can let it dangle so that the crown of the head is facing the earth now. As you inhale, you're breathing in that yin energy. And as you exhale, you're releasing the stagnation. Two more breaths. And bring the gaze forward. And let's tiptoe up that tightrope. One teeny tiny step at a time. We're going to enjoy each step. And I'm going to pretend like I'm stepping in moss. I love to walk on moss. I'm not sure how the moss feels about it. It seems to be all right, as long as I don't stay in the same place long. Now, plant the feet underneath the hips. Bend the knees a lot. Lay the belly, low ribs, maybe even most of the chest on the thighs. Let the arms hang. And feel the feet. Feel, you can even rock forward and backward here a little bit. So there are energy centers in the arches of the feet and in the palms of the hands that we can release stagnant energy, receive prana through. Bring the palms of the hands so they face the earth. And just rock around here. Maybe come to stillness. As you inhale, draw that energy up from the earth, through the feet, through the hands, through the crown of the head, through the heart, all those places. And as you exhale, we're washing out the stale, stagnant energy. Two more breaths. Now keep your knees bent a lot and let your arms be heavy, let your head be heavy. And take several breaths to come up slowly. Take your time. One vertebrae at a time. Energy tends to get stuck in joint spaces. So in between each vertebrae is a joint. Give each of those joints a little attention. Inhale, swing your arms up. And exhale, the hands home to the heart. Pause here in mountain pose. Once again, feeling the feet. Let's sway around so we feel the outer edge, the inner edge, the balls of the feet, the heels. Explore. Massaging the soles of the feet. Opening up those energy centers, those chakras on the bottoms of the feet. And then bring yourself to stillness. Find mountain pose. Keep a little softness in the knees. And roll your palms open a bit. Open just a touch. Shoulders up, back and down. Draw the chin in and lift the crown of the head up. Picture that mountain. The mountain is unchanged by all that goes on around it. Lots of things happen on and around mountains, and the mountain just stays put. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Let's step back in plank. Let's hold plank for 3 breaths. Pushing down into the hands. Staying strong in the shoulders. And grip the mat with the fingertips. And use that grip to act like a suction cup, pulling that earth energy up through the palms of the hands. Now drop the knees so you're in a kneeling plank. Feel free to keep the toes tucked as you sit back briefly in this extended child's pose. Now come back again into your kneeling plank and then let the hips come down to the mat. Little bend in the elbows, and you can bring those toes up towards the back of the head now. And then bring the shins down, tuck the toes, go back to child's pose. On your inhale, come forward. You can stay in this kneeling plank or come into your back bend. This is a modified high cobra, a modified up dog. Toes towards the back of the head. Feel the heart come forward and lift it towards the sky. The gaze goes towards the sky. And then exhale back. Let's do 2 more. I'll just flow through it. You can go as slow or as fast as you like. One more. And then meet me back in child's pose. The arms can stay long, or you can stack your fists under your forehead. And breathe. Feeling the heart reaching towards the earth again. That earth energy can be very soothing. Let's drink that in, bring that in through the heart. I'm going to come back into table. Let's tuck the toes and find a downward facing dog. Now bring the feet hip distance apart again. Bend your knees, push your belly down there. Then as you inhale, let the sit bones reach up towards the sky, and at the same time, the heels are pressing towards the earth. They may not make it, they might, just depends on your flexibility. Now bend the elbows so they point out, and then scoop them down towards the mat, and then straighten them, and feel how that opened up your shoulders. Take 2 more breaths here. Look between the hands. Let's take bigger steps to the top, maybe just 2. Take your time. As you arrive, let's lift halfway on an inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Now pulling the feet away from each other, engaging the hips, let's swing the arms out and up. Bring the hands together overhead, maybe even add a little back bend here. And exhale the hands home to the heart, finding mountain pose. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. On an inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale to plank. Find your way to your belly. You can drop the knees if you need to. Let's do 5 rolling baby cobra. Inhale, lifting, low ribs stay on the mat. Exhale, come down, tuck the chin, forehead comes down. 4 more of these, slowly again. Remember all those joint spaces between the discs, or between the vertebrae, so the discs live there. That's where some energy can get stuck. Let's go so slow that each joint space has a chance to move and shine, has its moment. Let's do 1 more. Now tuck your toes here, and we're going to press back into that extended child's pose. Briefly, then come forward in our kneeling plank. Toes are already tucked. Let's lift up into downward facing dog, adjusting the feet as you need to. Swing the right leg back and up. Bend the knee. Let's stack the hips. Don't let the shoulders twist. Hold here. You can do some circles in your right ankle. Now square the hips to the mat. Keep the knee bent a lot. Come into that cat back as you shift forward into a 3-legged plank, and then go back up into a 3-legged dog. Reach up long with that right leg. Bend the knee. Tuck the chin, round the spine, shifting forward into a 3-legged plank. Back up one more time, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, round the back as much as you can. Really curl. And then step the foot forward between the hands. Help it out if you need to. Take the back foot and drop the heel in. Coming up in warrior one. Rising up on an inhale. Bring the hands to heart. Sink down a little further. Lift your prayer, exalted warrior. A little balance. And then exhale, hands to heart. I'm going to straighten that front knee. Swing the arms up. Exhale, the hands behind you. Lace the fingers. Open the shoulders. So shoulders up, back and down. Draw your shoulder blades as close to the spine as you can. Push the knuckles down now. Pull the fist away from the sacrum. As you inhale, long spine. Think about giving space between each of the vertebrae. As you exhale, float up and over the hip crease. Reaching down towards the earth with the crown of the head. Pyramid pose. Now frame your foot with your hands. Step back into plank. Find your way to your belly. Maybe a little higher back bend this time. Let's do 5 Cobra. Slide your hands down a little further towards your hips. Keep your elbows reaching up towards the sky. Tuck the chin. Pull the hands towards the hips. Feel that scoot your heart forward. Come forward as far as you can. When you can't go any further, the heart lifts. Keep a little bend in your elbows. You'll unfurl the head last. And coming back down, tuck the chin as you descend. Let's do 4 more of these. Unfurling the spine. I bring it up a lot, but I always think of ferns. In the springtime, those little fiddlehead protrusions that come up as they are waking up and growing. So there's that little curl, that little spiral at the top, and you're unfurling from that place. So unfurl the head in that way. I've got one more. Tuck your toes, shift back into that extended child's pose. Come forward right away, kneeling plank. Tuck the toes, down dog. Swing the left leg back and up. And hold here for a moment. Now bend the knees, stack the hips. Now check on the shoulders, untwist them. Do some circles in that left ankle. Stacking the hips again, keeping the knee bent. We're going to tuck the chin round the spine. Bring the knee forward into a 3-legged plank. And then unfurling again. And lift the leg up into 3-legged dog. Let's do 2 more of those. Notice how as you lift into a 3-legged dog, you really can unfurl the head, just like we did. We're in a back bend here. And now we're going to step it forward. Help your foot out. Drop that back heel in a bit. You may want to step up just a few inches and come up into warrior one. Bring the hands to heart. Lift your prayer. Lift your heart and breathe. 2 more breaths here. And then exhale, hands back home to heart. Inhale, swing your arms up. Exhale, arms behind you. Lace your fingers, elbows are bent. Now, draw the elbows towards each other like butterfly wings. See how close you can get the shoulder blades to the spine. Then push the knuckles down. Then lift the fists away from the sacrum. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, float forward. Straighten that front leg, and we'll come into pyramid. Breathe. Release the hands to the mat. Step back in plank. Let's drop the knees and find crocodile. Stacking the hands, separating the legs wide, left and right edges, or even wider. Bend the knees. And windshield wiper positions or circle. And release the shins down to the mat. And let it go. The heart once again is facing the earth. The yin energy of the earth, the yang energy of the sky. We need a balance. And sometimes we're out of balance. I feel like there's a lot of yang going on right now. Let's draw up some yin so we can carry that energy with us and share. Maybe bathe the earth in that coolness, cooling things down. One more breath. Now meet me in down dog. Swing your right leg back and up, and then step it forward. We're going to come up in a lunge, so stay on the ball of the left foot. Bring your hands to heart. Inhale, lift your prayer. High crescent lunge. On an exhale, hands back home to heart. Let's twist this to the right. So bring your arms ahead of you, hands are together, and I'm going to act like I'm pulling a bowstring with my right hand. As I bring that arm back behind me, left fingers reach forward, open up both hands, reach in both directions. Breathe. Shoulders down, crown of the head reaches up. Two more breaths here, feel the wobbles. Now drop the right arm down as you bring it forward again. Now we're going to open to warrior two. I'm going to take the left hand, circle it up, externally rotate the left leg. Palms face the earth. Shoulders drop down. Let's take a peaceful warrior. Breathe. Two more breaths in this shape. And then back to warrior two. So we have kind of a fun transition here. I'm going to cartwheel my left arm forward. I'm going to spin to the ball of my left foot, coming into that lunge. The left hand's going to come down here to the mat. You can use a block here as well, and take the right arm up. So we're coming into a nice twist. And breathe. You can play with your gaze, looking down, looking to your right, looking up. Just play. And frame that foot. Step back in plank. Let's do a little chaturanga. So as you exhale, a little push-up. So we'll do the downward part of the push-up. Inhale, straight arms. Now flip your feet so the tops of the feet are on the mat and let the hips come down. This is upward facing dog. Now tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Let's hold here and breathe. Maybe let the crown of the head hang towards the earth.
Grip the mat with the fingertips, pulling that earth energy up through the palms of the hands. Now swing your left leg back and up. Step it forward. You're going to rise up in a lunge. We're on the ball of the foot in the back. Rise up. Hands to heart. Big inhale here. Exhale. Maybe you sink lower. And inhale. Lift the prayer. Lift the gaze. Lift the heart. Wobble. Fall if you're like me. Two more breaths. Now bring your arms forward. We'll twist this. I'm going to take my left hand like I'm pulling a bowstring. Turn to the left and open the arms. Palms face your left. Stretch those fingers wide. Feel the wobbles. And breathe. Now drop the left hand down, complete that circle. Transitioning to warrior two. So right arm goes up, externally rotate the right leg. Find Virabhadrasana 2. And come into peaceful warrior. And breathe. And coming into that fun transition, so we'll come back to warrior two. I had to think about this. The right arm comes down as you pivot to the ball of the right foot. Now bring the right arm down to the ground. Take the left arm to the knee initially and then open into a twist. And breathe. Frame the foot. Let's step back in down dog. Move if you need to. See if you can find your way into a nice, comfortable down dog. You can always come to child's or a happy puppy. And breathe. Your gaze between your hands. See if you can hop to the top. So bend your knees a lot. Send your butt way back there. And maybe even a little bouncy 1, 2, 3. And then hop as far as you can to the top. You can take a few steps if you need to once you get here. Plant your feet under your hips and then lift halfway. Maybe the fingertips now can stay on the floor. Maybe you need to bring your hands to your shins. So nice long spine. Give some space between the vertebrae. Exhale, fold. Pull the feet away from each other. Inhale, swing your arms out and up. And exhale, the hands home to the heart. We're going to step back with the right leg and turn to the right. Coming into Prasarada. Look at the feet. Little toe edges of the feet parallel with the short edges of the mat. And then pull the feet away from each other. Feel the engagement of the hips. Lift your kneecaps. Feel the engagement of the thighs. Bring your arms overhead. Bring your arms behind you. Lace the fingers. You know the drill. Open up through the front chest. Shoulder blades close to the spine. Now push your knuckles down, and here maybe you take a little back bend. Lift the gaze, lift the heart, and then keep that moving through a neutral spine, folding over the hips and folding forward. Reach up with the fist, down with the crown of the head. Keep pulling the feet away from each other. Feel that engagement that supports the back. Now bend your knees a bit. On an inhale, rise back up. Take your hands to your hips and pause here. Your arms may have gotten a little tingly, that's okay. Inhale, swing your arms up. And exhale, hinge forward at the hips and bring the hands to the mat. Wrists are under shoulders. Spread the fingers wide, just like we were in a table or our down dog. Bend your elbows now and let the crown of the head start to float towards the earth. You can lift your toes and reach out with your first two fingers, your peace sign fingers, and lasso your big toe. You can keep your knees bent a bit if you need to, and if you've got your big toe, pull and let the knees or the elbows bend outward, bringing the crown of the head more towards the earth. If your knees are bent, see if you can bend them a little deeper and then lift sit bones straight up as the crown of the head hangs down. Keep pulling. Pulling without straining. Straining especially the low back. 3 more breaths here. Now release the big toes. Bring the hands back to the mat, and we're going to walk those hands to the top of the mat. Pivot on the feet. Come into plank. Drop the knees. Find that extended child's pose. Reach. Maybe you even crawl those hands out long. Let's take a wide child's pose. Reach the arms long and then push the mat away. Send the hips back and down. Melt the heart. You can bring the forehead to the mat. I've got my head turned away from the mic. And breathe. Now from here, see if you can walk your hands alongside of your shins. Now the palms will be up. And the shoulders are free to roll forward. And feel that openness in the back of the heart space. The palms are facing the sky now. Maybe wiggle the fingers, squeeze, make fists, massage the palms of the hands. And then just let the hands lie there with the fingers relaxed, and imagine a nice lotus flower in the palms of each hand, the palm of each hand. Inhale and exhale. If your head is turned to one side, lift it and turn it to the other side. And then pressing back into table, swing the legs around. And let's extend the right leg long and keep the left knee bent, sole of the foot to the mat. Keep the right foot flexed and then come up on the sit bones like you're going to stand on the left foot. Stay here, or maybe we twist this. As you twist, if you've chosen to do that, you can bring the whole palm and fingers, palm surface of the left hand to the mat. Keep the heel of the hand close to your hip. You can also tent your fingers if you need to. You can put a block back there. As you inhale, lengthen the spine, space between each vertebrae. As you exhale, deepen the twist, but I want you to pay special attention to the shoulder blades. So as you're pulling on the left knee with the right forearm, you're pulling that shoulder blade, the right shoulder blade forward towards your armpit. Now the left arm, as you're twisting, you can draw the shoulder blade back towards the spine. So one shoulder blade is protracting, one's retracting. And then unwind, and we'll switch sides. So up, flex, left forearm around, and you can stay here. Or you can take this right hand, and I've got the heel of my hand behind me but close, so I'm not leaning back. You may need to tent your
Fingertips or put a block under your hand. So push down, lengthen on your inhale, exhale, twist, and then bring awareness especially to the shoulder blades. So by pulling the left forearm towards you, you can pull the left shoulder blade towards the armpit, and then open the right shoulder, drawing the right shoulder blade towards the spine. Maybe you can even reach around and take a bind, half bind. And really open. And then unwind. Bring both feet in. Let's curl up here in a little embryo. The chin is tucked again, spine is rounded. Thighs are tight to the belly. Make it a little tough to breathe so you feel sensation up and down the back as you inhale and exhale. Now find your way to your back. And maybe you even roll back. I like to roll back from embryo, so make sure there's plenty of mat back there and roll along the spine. Keep the knees bent, walk the feet wide, and let's do a little twist side to side with the knees. You can move the gaze in the opposite direction of the knees. Now draw both knees into the armpits, so keep the knees nice and wide, nice and wide. And then I like to kind of wag the tail, so the feet are flexed and I'm using my hands to kind of tick-tock my knees up and down, massaging the low back. And then option to take a happy baby, so the hands can be behind the knee space. Sometimes we call that, instead of the armpit, this is the knee pit. And drawing those knees down, or you can slide the hands along the shins and pull. And maybe you take this, one phase at a time, working your way to the soles of your feet. I like to take my hands to the inner edge of my feet, to the big toe edge, and toss my fingers across the sole of the feet and grab the outside edge, the little toe edge. That way I can kind of use my hands to keep the toes turning outward, keeping the shin bones lined up in the knee. And then draw the knees down a bit more, and then start tick-tocking again, start rocking maybe side to side. Play here, bending, extending. What feels good? Maybe you can come up with a new movement in this shape, something that feels especially good to you. And coming back to stillness, bring the soles of the feet together, gather the ankles, and then pull the ankles towards you. Use your forearms to open the knees up. So Supta, Baddha Konasana, so a reclined bound angle pose. Now release your ankles, but keep the feet in that shape and float the pinky toe edge of the feet down to the mat and let the knees just hang open. Tuck your shoulder blades one at a time. Pause here. Moving into Savasana, this is a great place to be in my body, but for some this shape in the lower half of the body isn't comfortable. So you find a place that is. Take a breath or two here to find a place where you feel completely supported and relaxed. And once again, return to the breath. Noticing the flow of the breath, the inhaling and the exhaling, freely flowing. Drawing in the life force energy as we draw the breath in, and as we exhale, releasing stagnation, releasing other stuff that we don't need. Let it go. As we empty, we make room for new, keeping that flow fresh and vibrant. And as our energy is restored and fresh, the energy that we share with others is the same. And maybe we can bring a freshness, a vibrancy to their life without them even knowing what we're doing. You've experienced that before. You can be in a room and one person can bring the whole room down, or one person can lift the energy of the room. Keep your energy fresh so you're that person that lifts those around you. And begin to deepen your breath. Begin moving the body in whatever way feels best to you. Meet me in a seated position. Get there any way you like. Be creative. The end of another practice, but the beginning of the next. I will see you Monday, 7 a.m. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Let's reach up and gather some light and love and draw that home to the heart. May you have peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, a peaceful heart, and may we all have a peaceful world. Namaste. Let's make that peace. Have a great weekend. Thanks again. I'll see what I can do over there without my glasses. Who knows what I'll end up on. Here is the thank you slide.